Uncle Sunday, where are the documents? They took everything.
Have you ever seen a woman that the whole town talks about? Not because she has done anything wrong, but because she shines too much for their eyes to handle. That was Sarah. When I say Sarah was classy, I don't mean she wore expensive clothes. Many women wear expensive clothes. I mean she carried herself like a queen who had forgotten she was a queen. Her wrapper was always neat. Her gele was never too high, never too low. Her English was soft, like butter. Her laugh was gentle. Her house was always smelling of fresh flowers, even when there were no flowers. Sarah was not born rich. No. She was born in a small village in Imo State, the last child of a catechist. But she married a man who loved her properly. His name was Chief Emeka Duru, a good man. A quiet millionaire who made his money from real estate in Abuja. Chief loved Sarah like a man who knows what he has found. He did not just give her money, he gave her respect. He would hold her hand in public. He would open the car door for her even after 15 years of marriage. He told his friends, "My wife is my class." And Sarah was a good wife. She was not just sitting and spending Chief's money. She ran a big fabric store in the main market. She employed 12 girls. She paid their school fees. She was the women's leader in their church. She was the one who settled fights between couples. She was the one who brought food to widows every Christmas without making noise about it. They had 3 children, 2 boys in university in Canada and a small girl, Kiki, who was 9 years old. From the outside, Sarah's life was perfect, too perfect. And you know what they say in our place? When your soup is too sweet, people will say you put charm inside. People started talking. The women in the market said, "She is too proud. She does not greet well." The women in the church said, "She is forming big woman. She thinks she is better than us." The men said, "Chief Emeka is a mumu. His wife has used juju to hold him." Sarah heard these things. She would come home and tell Chief, and Chief would laugh and say, "Leave them, my queen, not jealousy. When you are shining, you will disturb people who are living in darkness." She believed him because Chief was her covering. As long as Chief was alive, no wind could blow her wrapper away. Until that Thursday. That Thursday that started like any other Thursday. It was early morning. Sarah was in her bedroom, arranging Chief's clothes because Chief was to travel to Abuja for a business meeting. Chief was in the bathroom, singing one of those old Catholic hymns he loved. Sarah was smiling, folding his white kaftan, when she heard a loud thud. She ran to the bathroom. Chief was on the floor. His eyes were open. His hand was on his chest. He was struggling to breathe. Sarah screamed. She called their driver. She called their gateman. They carried Chief to the car and drove like mad people to the hospital. But before they got to the hospital gate, Chief Emeka Duru, the good man who loved his wife properly, died in the back seat of his car with his head on Sarah's lap. Just like that. No sickness, no warning, no goodbye. A man who was singing 5 minutes ago was gone. And that was the day Sarah's real life began, or ended, depending on how you look at it. The burial was big. Of course, Chief was a big man. People came from Abuja, from Lagos, from London. They ate, they drank, they wore fine aso-ebi that Sarah paid for. At the burial, Sarah wore white. She did not cry loudly. She just sat beside Chief's casket, holding Kiki's hand, staring into space. People said, "See, she is not even crying. She has a strong heart. She must have known he would die." But they did not know that Sarah had cried until her tears finished inside the mortuary van when she was alone. After the burial, after the crowd left, after the leftover food was shared, the silence in that big house was loud enough to kill. Sarah thought her pain was the worst thing. She did not know that pain was only the first child. Betrayal was the second child coming. 1 week after the burial, Chief's elder brother, Uncle Sunday, came to the house with 2 other kinsmen. Uncle Sunday had never liked Sarah. He had wanted Chief to marry his own wife's younger sister. He had always said Sarah was too fine to be trusted. He sat in the sitting room and said, "Sarah, we have come to do the needful. Our brother is gone. According to our tradition, we must check his properties and keep them safe for his children." Sarah, innocent Sarah, said, "Yes, sir. You are welcome. Everything is there. Chief's lawyer has the documents." Uncle Sunday smiled, a smile that did not reach his eyes. He said, "No need for lawyer, we are family. Bring the documents." Sarah went and brought a box where Chief kept all his land papers, his house papers, his company papers. She gave it to them because in her mind, family is family. Uncle Sunday opened the box and started checking. He nodded. He said, "We will take this to the village and keep it safe. You are a woman, you don't understand these things." Sarah wanted to argue, but Kiki started crying and she went to attend to her daughter. When she came back, the men had carried the box and left. That was the first loss. The second loss came 3 days later. Sarah went to her fabric store in the market, the store she built with her own hands. She had not gone for 2 weeks because of the burial. When she got there, she saw a padlock on her shop, a new padlock. She asked the neighbor, "What is happening? Why is my shop locked?" The neighbor looked away and said, "Madam, Uncle Sunday came with thugs yesterday. He said the shop belongs to the family now, that a woman cannot own such a big shop. He chased your girls away." Sarah's legs failed her. She sat on the floor in front of her own shop in her fine clothes and people were passing and looking. She called Uncle Sunday. He shouted at her, "Don't call my phone again. You have eaten enough. For 15 years you ate our brother's money. Now it is our turn to eat. If you want shop, go and marry another man." Sarah went home and cried until her eyes were swollen. But the worst, the most painful loss was still coming. She called Chief's lawyer, Barrister Ibe. She said, "Sir, please help me. My husband's family has taken everything." Barrister Ibe sighed and said, "Madam Sarah, I was about to call you, your husband. Chief did not leave a will. He always said he would do it when he returned from Abuja. He said death is still far. So by law, his family has a claim to his properties. As his wife, you are entitled to something, but without a will, it will be a long court case. And his family has money to fight you. No will." Chief, who planned everything, who bought insurance for his cars even before they arrived, forgot to plan for his own death. Sarah thought, "At least I have friends. At least I have the church women. At least I have the market women, whose children I paid school fees for." So she went to church on Sunday, wearing a simple black gown. She sat in her usual front seat, the women's leader seat. The parish priest announced, "We need to appoint a new women's leader, since our former leader, Madam Sarah, is now indisposed." Indisposed. That was the word he used. After service, the women gathered around her, not to hug her, but to gist. One woman said, "Sarah, sorry but we heard you were rude to your husband's family. That is not good." Another said, "We heard you refused to shave your hair for your husband. That is why his spirit is angry." Another said, "They said you have a boyfriend in Abuja. That is why you did not cry at the burial." Sarah looked at their faces. These were the same women who ate in her house every Christmas. These were the same women she gave wrappers to. She realized something that day. People don't love you. They love what you have. They love what you give them. When what you have is gone, their love is gone too. She left the church alone. No one followed her. She went to the market to beg her friend, Mama Ngozi, to lend her some money to feed Kiki. Mama Ngozi, whose son Sarah had paid his WAEC fees, looked at her and said, "Sarah, I don't have money. Business is hard now. And people are saying if I help you, your husband's family will fight me." Everyone turned against her. Everyone. Her own blood sister who lived in Port Harcourt called her and said, "Sarah, don't call me again. My husband said we should not put our mouth in your husband's family matter." The classy woman who used to enter the market and everyone would stand up to greet her, now entered the market and everyone would pretend they did not see her. She sold her gold jewelry to buy food. She sold her fine clothes. She sold her car because Uncle Sunday had already taken Chief's 2 other cars. She and little Kiki moved from their big mansion to a one-room self-contained behind a primary school. Because Uncle Sunday's sons came one night and threw their bags out of the main house saying, "This house is family house." From mansion to self-contained, from fabric shop owner to nothing, from women's leader to a woman who no one wanted to sit beside. One evening, it rained heavily. The roof of their self-contained leaked. Water entered everywhere. Kiki was shivering with cold. Sarah held her daughter and cried, not quiet tears. She wailed. She wailed for Chief. She wailed for her lost life. She wailed for the friends who betrayed her. She said, "God, why me? What did I do wrong? I was a good wife, I was a good woman, why has everyone turned against me?" And in that rain, in that small room, she heard a small voice. It was Kiki. Kiki said, "Mommy, don't cry. At least we have each other. We are not nothing. We have each other." Sarah held her daughter tighter, and for the first time in months, she stopped crying for what she lost and started thinking about what she had left. She had her hands, she had her brain, she had her daughter, and she had her dignity. The next morning, she wiped her tears. She went to a tailor in her street and said, "Please, can I help you to sell your market? I know many customers." The tailor laughed and said, "Madam Sarah, you that used to be big woman?" Sarah said, "Yes, me." She started selling fabrics again, but this time on her head, moving from street to street. The classy woman who used to sit in a big shop with air conditioner, now hawking under the sun. People mocked her. They said, "See, classy woman, see as she has fallen." But Sarah did not stop. She greeted everyone with a smile. She saved every naira. Slowly, very slowly, she rented a small table in front of someone's shop, then a small kiosk. She met a woman who had once been her customer, a big woman in Abuja who heard what happened and said, "Sarah, I always liked you. Come and be supplying me fabrics from Aba. I will give you capital." That was the beginning of her rising. 2 years passed. Sarah's kiosk became a shop again. Her shop became 2 shops. Her sons returned from Canada. When they heard what Uncle Sunday did, they were angry. They took their father's family to court. With the help of Barrister Ibe and proof of how Chief bought his properties, they won back their father's main house and some lands. Uncle Sunday was disgraced in the village. But Sarah told her sons, "Leave vengeance. Let us focus on building." Today, Sarah lives again in her house. Not because the court gave it back, but because she rebuilt her life from that self-contained. And the same women who turned against her, they came back. They came with Aso-Ebi, asking her to be women's leader again. They came to her shop to buy on credit. Sarah smiled at them, she sold to them, but she never gave them her heart again. Because she learned the biggest lesson of her life the day she lost everything. My dear, listen to me. The day you lose everything is not a sad day. It is a revealing day. It is the day God removes the sunglasses from your eyes so you can see who was really clapping for you and who was just waiting for you to fall so they can have a story to gist. Sarah thought she had many friends. She had many spectators. Don't confuse a crowd for support. Don't confuse people who eat with you for people who love you. And another thing, this is for every woman listening. Please, while your husband is alive and you are building together, make sure your name is on something. Make sure you have something that is yours. Not because you don't trust him, but because death does not respect love. Chief Emeka loved Sarah, but love did not protect her when he was gone. A will would have protected her. Don't be so classy that you forget to be wise. And if you are listening tonight and you are in Sarah's self-contained season where everyone has turned against you, where you went from classy to nothing, hear me, this is not your end. This is your revealing. The same people who saw you fall will see you rise. But this time, you will know who to carry along and who to leave behind. Cry if you must, but after crying, wipe your face, carry your tray, and go back to the market. Because your class is not in your clothes. Your class is in your spirit. And no one, not even Uncle Sunday, can take that from you. May your rising be louder than your falling. This is Jam Jam Tales. I will be here tomorrow by this same fire with another story that will hold your hand through your own storm.